Well, hello there. Hello, Marcel, how are you? So I just found out today that Papo actually means like daddy in Croatian. That's nice to know. They always write my name Papo. So, Marcel, did you have... Oh my gosh, what happened with your PC, Marcel? Was it the processor? Was it the GPU? Owie, motherboards. That's bad. That's basically a new laptop. Yikes. Yikes. Well, until you fix your laptop, I hope I can keep you entertained with some isometric RPG stuff. Actually, I'm also on Twitch. I'm on both of them. Hello there, Tony! One by one. So, are you guys ready to continue working on this beautiful modular house of ours, which is getting smarter and smarter by the day? I'm carefully monitoring my CPU so it doesn't start burning also, because I'm streaming in 1080p this time. It's a bit more resource intensive, and we should also compile some lights today because we'll continue with the modules, with the prop modules. So yeah. Alrighty, let's see where we were. "30 minutes. We got more than 30 minutes. Glad you can stick with us for 30 minutes. Everything will be recorded anyway on YouTube, Twitch, whatever, so you can recap later. I hope the image quality is better than the last times. New internet this time, and it looks super solid. So, some music, and here's what we'll do this time. So we'll continue modeling the walls, and we'll create all the walls we have presetted in the actor in Unreal. So just to recap, we have a smart actor. Let's see. This one is a smart actor, in fact, on which we can customize as level designers. The left pillar, the right pillar, we can choose if it places a pillar or not. We can choose whether it's a simple wall, whether it's a wall with windows, like here. These ones, we can choose if it's a wall with a single window, a wall with a door, which has the most detail so far, a simple wall that's shorter, a simple shorter wall with window, and a simple wall with door. The problem is, other than the wall with the door, which has some detail, as you can see, planks and everything with some holes in them, etc., we don't have much detail on the other objects. But after some intense modeling I've done during the past days, we'll be super fast at creating and updating these objects, the other ones as well. I started streaming at this hour more as a test for the internet. And Tony just realized he has a geography test. Good luck with geography, Tony, it's always important. Okay, so let's quickly create the same amount of detail for the other walls. So I created a few setups here for the modular house. So all the simple box-like walls you've seen, I already have them here, you know, ready, and they're green and they're ready to go and stuff like that. And now all I have to do is to get detail into them and re-export over the existing asset. And that's super easy to do because I created somewhere here an army of detailed modules. These ones. So I'll just copy these ones real quick. Let's say, I don't know, duplicate them. Oopsie. Like this. And put them in the wall simple layer. Like this. And now I can basically quickly customize my simple wall to add detail to it. So I'll just take, I don't know, this plank, align it here. Let's see, on the y-axis from pivot point to center. Okay. Now I'll move it like this. And let's work on it with wireframe. So basically I will fill up the simple wall with detailed planks. I like this one too, so I'll quickly line this one. I like this one too, so again I'll quickly align this one and I'll drop them in one by one. I'm not the best at modeling stuff and doing stuff, so if any one of you is a like hardcore good artist, please share your tips and knowledge, type it in the chat and let's get the conversation going, because I really want to learn the best ways to do stuff like this. My way is with this wooden planks. I actually won't need these ones. Let's save as a different file name. Save as house modules whip 2. Okay, so now I quickly rotate these, all of them, like so, 10 degrees maybe, in this direction. Let's actually look at it like this. So I rotate everything, nice and easy. I just put plank under plank, just like regular trolls build their houses. The houses are built in proportion to seem like the trolls built their houses. And because they're trolls and they know some magic and they're a bit rough around the edges, they're not necessarily the best craftsmen ever. So for instance, this wall actually has a variation where one of the planks is put wrongly, differently, call it whatever you want. Then let's say I also want this one again, maybe like this. Okay, I can also rotate it and place it back here. Let's work in world coordinates. Bam, bam, bam. Like so. Like so. Oh, what a beautiful wall we're building. I don't want them to I don't want all of them to be super aligned on this side where I'm moving the mouse right now. So I want to have some offsets and stuff like that. And again, let's look at the wall we have to fill. So I have to go all the way down there. So let me just clone another one here. I'll actually make it go a bit under the original wall geometry. And I don't know, I'll pick this one again, like this. Maybe I'll mirror it so I break the patterns a bit so you don't see the patterns. Which way should I mirror it? Ah, nice cut here, I like this one. Okay, up. I convert it to an editable poly again. I won't spend a lot of time. This has to be a fast process because we'll be making lots of them and variations for them. And let's say I'll take this one, which looks like a very common plank. Now, why do I have so much geometry on them? Why aren't they, let's say, better optimized? Well, first of all, because I'm not the best at optimizing stuff. Secondly, because even with this geometry, they're not that beefy. And thirdly, because all this geometry will get broken down into UV coordinates, better UV mapping in Unreal for the lighting. And I'll get to the lighting immediately after we export this wall. Okay, so now this looks pretty much to fill up our old wall almost completely. Almost completely, good enough. So right now I'll just have to attach everything to a single plank, let's say this one at the bottom. So I'll go in, select polygons or whatever, and look for the attach. This one, and bam, bam, bam. Now I just created a single object that contains all the planks, to which I have to center the pivot to the old one to make sure it's in the same position. So from pivot to pivot, there we go. Let's also copy this name, wall simple, and I'll show you why. Wall simple low def, and the new one will be called wall simple properly this time, like this. Okay. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, we apply a reset X form, which basically resets the transformation of the object so it can be properly exported. Quick unwrap, the quickest unwrap we can do. So I select everything, I open the UV editor, and I just do a simple flatten mapping. And if the computer doesn't crash, which it didn't, now we have everything decently unwrapped. Because we're just using diffuse materials, I don't need a perfect unwrap here, so we're done. I cook it again into a editable poly, and I just hit export selected, and I re-export it as wall simple. And now, with the magic of Unreal, if we just look at Unreal, we switch to Unreal, and we get this warning here. A change occurred. I hit import, and prepare to be amazed. Right now, for instance, I take this modular wall, and I select wall simple, and boom! We have all the planks there, looking all nice and pretty. Let's select this one as well. So I said wall simple, and there we go. This is how an orcish wall looks now. Hi Sam, welcome. So there we go. I just added detail to one of the walls. Still a lot to go. We still got the wall with the window, the wall with the single window, the wall with the door, this one, and of course, actually the pillars themselves are just simple boxes right now. I need to add proper detail there as well. But for the simple wall, it worked. Let's talk a bit about lighting and shading before I continue adding detail. So check this out. One of the problems we have is that our game, our project, uses baked light maps. You can see the shadows here from the object casted on the terrain. They're baked. So I'm changing the walls, I'm putting windows here, I'm putting, I don't know, a shorter wall, but the shadow doesn't update. So every time I select a wall and I make a configuration for a modular house, I will need to build the lighting. For streaming purposes, and so my processor doesn't go on fire and we lose the stream, I'll set the build quality to medium or even preview. But if I quickly build on preview, you'll also see that on this instance, we'll update the ambient occlusion as well. So let's see if this works. Hopefully it won't crash and burn. Alrighty then. So here we are. Lighting is complete. I'm having some ambient occlusion, some dirt on it. Basically, that's why I'm using ambient occlusion, to add some more color detail. And let's not forget, it's an isometric game. So if I actually hit play and move the character there, it's enough detail, because the character never goes much closer to the mesh than this. However, I still have to tweak something in the object import settings, because I'm not entirely happy with what's going on here. When the player moves the mouse around, which is the green cursor, basically, basically we'll always go to the mouse position where we detect the collision with a special channel I created. However, if we look at this wall, which is properly set up, the green cursor doesn't climb on the surface of the wall. It actually goes behind. So if I, for instance, eject here, let's see if I can somehow show you. Okay, I'll show you like this. So the mouse cursor always stays on the ground, on the walkable surface, right? However, to the object we just imported, the mouse actually, okay, it works. So I made the setup. It's just about setting the proper collision channel for the object. But I guess I did that last night. Okay, everything looks good. The shadow is compiling, but don't forget, every time you'll change the type of object, you'll need to recompile the shadows. So now let's just continue putting detail in all the instances, all the types of walls, and then making one last test with actually building a quick modular house for the player to navigate through after we've exported everything. Music and a bit of modeling. All right. So I just copied in each of my layer enough detailed geometry to quickly build to fill up the simple shape I have in Unreal. And this should be like really super fast, super easy, just align everything on a single axis like this. Let's take all of them. We align it like this. Okay. Now I literally just fill up the geometry, and let's give this one like, I don't know, a bluish color or something. And actually, if I remember right, I can put some opacity on the object, like visibility 0.5 to make it a bit transparent. So it's super clear now what exactly I am doing. And I'll actually try to remember what is the expert mode. Control X. Yeah, there we go. So now I'm in expert mode, completely lost. And we're just doing the same thing we've done with the other ones, real nice and real quick. I'm adding the plank detail to the really simple walls, one by one, just placing them in here, boom, like this, and like this. There we go. Everything seems to be looking a-okay. Now I've got these two bad boys, which are like different size. That's why I created more planks. So again, one by one, this one, oh, fits there remarkably well. Like this. Now I'll also let my artistic side roam a bit, and let's see actually which ones I like. Oh, I like this one with the cracked. Good one, Marcel. I like this one with the cracked thing in it. So I'll definitely take this one. Yes, please. Yes, yes, please. And I'll also put it in here. And now remember just this. When even orcs when building, let's freeze this one. Freeze selection. Even when orcs, even though they're clumsy and they don't have the perfect hands to hold their planks and make them super smooth, they would still try not to get rain inside their houses. And this comes actually from architecture. It's actually from the roof building. So every time you're trying to build something that's watertight, because water follows gravity and falls down, you always put the plank above over the plank below. It's a very simple rule. So if you look at this setup, for instance, you'll definitely see the water, if there will be rain in the trollish world in our isometric RPG, the water will always fall on the surface of the planks. So that's why I'm adding this tiny little rotation here, like 10 degrees or something, putting the planks like this, and why not even rotating them just a bit. Also, because I'm creating these surfaces here, you know, these split lines. Let me try to actually make a line on it. So because I'm creating these lines here where the geometry of each plank intersects, I will actually get very good results with the ambient occlusion Unreal will bake. So it's just a matter of rotating a bit. I'm not even using angle snap anymore. Placing the planks, rotating a bit again, maybe a bit more. This one should be also a bit more. Putting it here. Again, I'm not an expert artist. I don't claim to be. I'm a level designer at heart. So this kind of stuff might be optimized. You might have continuous geometry here, etc. But we're not in the optimization phase yet, and nor should we need to worry. Back to music and adding more planks now. Okay, so as you can see, I'm always checking to my original gray box placeholder object I already have in the editor to check and make sure I always, but always, keep following its volume. I would need another green plank, so let's take this one, bam, like this. Lovely, and let's say we'll rotate it. So, ooh, nice detail there. Nice, 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 nice. Well, that was fast. Tony's learning for the test, I mean. Another thing I can do is I can scale these and not affect the detail that much. And I'll need to scale them a bit from time to time, like this and like this. So there we go, looks good. Everything looks a-okay. I'll move this one here. Actually, I'll scale this a bit more. And you know what? I'll also lower it. And scale it a bit like this. Oh, it looks beautiful. There we go. These trolls are actually really good house builders now that I'm thinking about it. I don't necessarily like the way this one sits, so I'll try to fix it like this. Looks good. Looks good. This one, rotate it a bit more. Now I'll just add in the small planks, for which of course I already created some variation and stuff. Let's see which ones do I like. So if I look at it like this maybe, and let's see some stylized color pencil maybe. Okay, so which ones would I like? I like this one because it has a nice detail. I like this one because it's chipped, and I like this one for now. Okay, so I'll just put it back to default shading because it's easier to follow through the transparent object. And again, I'll just align these bad boys to whatever. Okay, they're overlapping, no worries. Now one by one, I take them and place them again so they intersect a bit like this. I might need another one because the trolls apparently are using 4 planks. So this one also comes with us. Yep. Okay. And okay. Now this one and this one I want to rotate. So I put the detail on the other side. And now if I'm smart enough, because I want to model as fast as possible so I don't bore you guys with all these details, I might actually affect each object's pivot independently, rotate locally, and do this, which kind of works, except I have to redo it for these 2 bad boys, like so. So now my plank setup is pretty good. Yep. we'll just raise this one, push it a bit forward, lower this one, and maybe lower this one. And now get these bad boys in here, and as I said, add some scaling, you know, to make it more orcish like, and like this, and like this, like this maybe. And I'll serve you guys with some more music right now, while I will also add some random rotation, because right now they're still not trollish enough. The wall isn't built by, doesn't look like it was built by a troll yet completely, because all the planks are aligned like this. You can see the perfect alignment. And again, the trolls are also busy casting magic spells and attacking robotic players in this twisted RPG world, so they shouldn't have this proper perfect alignment. What I'll do is turn on the music and just add some rotation on those axes. So have fun, guys. Alright, so we just exported another one. Again, with the pure magic of Unreal. If you look here in the bottom right corner, an asset source change has been detected. Yes, I want to import it. And now, if I select this modular wall and select wall window single, there we go. Here we have it. And actually, to showcase even better how quick it is to update objects and to bring in more and more geometry and detail to your game, actually I'll do something really clever. I'll align all of the possible wall combinations we can have with this smart prop, with this blueprint actor that summons geometry from a list from us, one next to another. So how many combinations do I have? 1, 2, 3, 7. So let's make 7 copies of this, like so. 4, and let's put 3 more on another row, like so. And now let's configure each one. So this is wall simple, this is wall with window, this is wall with a single window, which we just imported, wall with door, which we already had, wall simple short, which we still need to do, window short, and door short. So what seems to be the going on here? I still have 1, 2, 3, 4 objects in which I need to add detail, and I will also use this to check the plank alignment is always the same. So in this object, which I did yesterday or 2 days ago, the planks sit on top of each other towards this direction, towards the positive Y direction, if we see the arrow here. Okay, this one also positive Y, perfect. This one also positive Y, so everything is working a-okay. Okay, so we'll just turn on some music, and again we'll super fast add detail to these objects as well. 4 more to go, should be done in about 10-15 minutes if we really... Tony, yes, you are entirely correct. Those pillars don't fit the orcish style. And I'm sorry when I said I still have to do 4 objects from low detail to high detail. You are completely correct, and nice save, my friend. We actually have to do the pillars as well, because the pillars are, again, if we look in the content browser, let's see, browse to asset, in the smart house, I'll actually have to dig for the pillars to see from where I'm bringing them in. So if we look at the pillars, there's still a simple static mesh which has 0 detail whatsoever. There we go. So 5 objects counting the pillars as well. And if we look at the assets again, we'll also notice that at the door they have no support structure, nor at the window. So let me quickly highlight what still needs to be done. I would still need to add something like, you know, some smaller pillars here, because again, brutish as the trolls might be, they still do know some concepts of architecture and trollish house design. So let's just save this scene, just to make sure everything is a-okay. Quickly, 3ds Max. Okay, so sorry guys, the internet just had a massive hiccup. I hope everyone is still here receiving and everything. I'm dropping frames like crazy. How's the streaming quality, guys? Should be back now, I guess. Yep, I just had a huge choke. That's what happens with even with the bestest internet I could find in Croatia. But for those of you that managed to stay, thank you very much. Music and modeling. Now here is a good question. Should I use the longest planks? Aha. Okay, good observation, no music. I'll still have to see how exactly I will upload and transmit everything, etc. So then I'll do a bit more talking as I'm thinking through this. So I have the following problem. Right now I have to decide if I use a longer plank, which I scale down, or if I use a shorter style plank, which I scale up a bit. What do you say, guys? Or a mix of both? That's a very good point. It should depend on the frame. So let's use a long one. Ooh, this one, because it has a really nice detail over here as well. And we'll just align it quickly here. Boom. And let's do this. And actually, back. Nice. Good to have you back, Marcel. So, actually, what I can do I will turn into a bit of trollish construction worker, and I'll actually cut this plank in two. So I'll go into isolate mode like this. I have to cut it somewhere around here, right? So I'll just select the faces. Let's see, what faces do I have at my disposal. So here it cuts nicely, but on the other side, do I have some vertices here? Yes, I do. I just want to cut here. So I'll insert some vertices on the edges, like one here, one here. Then I will use the magical powers of connect to just connect these to this one. So what I'm trying to do is to make sure I have a constant edge loop, which I can show you here. So right now the object has a continuous edge loop. Marcel, I'm all the time in Zagreb. I live in Zagreb. I would expect Tony to ask when I'm coming to back to Romania. I'm also a teacher at Algebra University here in Zagreb. And there we go. Now I've just created 2 planks out of 1. Like a true trollish carpenter. Let's just cap this. Bam. Real nice. And let's also cap the one below. So I select the edge loop and I hit cap. There we go. I'll actually make some edges visible to help me with the triangulation. It's something that needs to be done. So I'll just need to connect and maybe this too as well. Connect. Nice. Good question, Marcel. This is something I'm also asking myself. I really love it here, so I wouldn't want to put a leave date on Zagreb. I love it here, my girlfriend loves it here, so I guess we'll stay for a while. Let's end the isolation. There we go. Ooh, this is really nice. So accidentally, just by modeling away, we managed to get this really nice hole that sees through the entire wall. This is super nice. I didn't expect that, but it happened. Okay, let's just center the pivot a bit. And now, as usual, again, I'll say this to avoid the super linear style, I'll always rotate a few of them here and there. And let's actually try to optimize the process a bit. Like this ones and this ones will be rotated like this. This of course means I have to rearrange them a bit. Like this. And this one scaled up a bit. Nice. So you're well connected in this region, are you, Marcel? And there we go. Maybe this one should be rotated like this. And this one should be rotated like this. Okay, let's add a bit of rotation on another axis as well. Like this. This one and this one. Maybe a bit like this. Okay. We'll do a Magic of Unreal moment again. So let's just connect, let's just remove what we don't need from this layer. Bye-bye. And let's just connect to this one. Everything, we'll connect everything. So I'll attach everything. I'll attach, make it a single object. There we go. Convert to editable poly. I still have this wall window short underscore low def it just became, and this one is gonna be the actual wall window short. And now from this one I need to get the proper pivot to align the pivot. Tony, I'll gladly call you up when I'm in Bucharest, that's for sure. And only I attach it here, X, Y, Z. I didn't quite understand the question, Marcel. Can you explain a bit more? Events for the design project? So, once again, let's go back to Unreal and check out the magic of re-importing assets. So I just did this one, right, which is Mech, hello M-Fate. And now with the magic of Unreal, you're just in time M-Fate, boom, geometry was updated. So, it works pretty nicely. This one actually has some big gaps in the geometry, but they're not that good at Windows, I guess. Okay, 3 more objects to go. 3 more objects to go and we're there, guys. Come on. 3 more to go and then we'll get into a bit of lighting, make a first modular house setup and see how it goes. Alrighto. Thanks, bro. 3 more objects to go. In fait, okay, te Frenchy toi. Do I know you by any chance? On se connaît? To do a simple shot. No, really, it's a really serious question, I'm fed. I know a lot of French people, that's why I'm asking. I have a lot of French friends. Carrément. Good question, Marcel, if I worked in Hawks 2 or not. Good, very good question. And Marcel, I have a single answer for you. Sorry about the microphone noise. Let me try to get this out of the way, so sorry about the noise. So Marcel, I have a single question for you. Did I work on Tom Clancy's Hawks or not? So one thing about game development, I'll put the microphone back. One thing about game development is if you're a professional game developer, you'll never have to buy t-shirts again. That's for sure. And in fact, thank you very much for praising my accent. I studied my accent a lot in the beautiful south of France, in Montpellier, back in the day when I was working for RGH, Rabbits Go Home. Hence the French and accent and everything. Yes, Marcel, I totally suggest you follow Game Dev Meetup on Facebook, Zagreb Game Dev Meetup, because that's where they post the announcements for all the game dev stuff. You should have a meetup a month or every 2 or 3 months. So I strongly suggest you follow that group. I mean it as well. Because yes, Zagreb is actually pretty active on the game dev meetup and everything. So again, I'm just arranging the planks real quick, real nice. I like it when they leave gaps like this. Up. And now they do need a bit of extra scale, I feel, but not much, not much. In fact, I'm creating the assets and everything for an upcoming level design course. So I want to teach people, the world, about level design. And in order to teach efficiently about level design, I'm trying to optimize a simple isometric project as much as possible, so people don't have to worry about everything, and they can actually focus on building their own story from level to level using the ingredients they receive with the project. Everyone will get full access to the project, so basically you can use what I already built for the project and start building more on top to further customize your game. But if you don't want to go that deep into blueprints or even C++ or whatever, you can just pick up the project, do the level design stuff, tell your own RPG isometric story, send it to friends, build it so they can play it and have fun with it. Marcel, looking forward to it, my friend. Planks look pretty good, right? So now again, just a simple unwrap. I just flatten the mapping, and in fact, you'll soon see the project and how it looks like. Let me just flatten this mapping here, convert to a double poly, file, and export selected, wall simple, short. Boom. So again, guys, let's do some Unreal magic. That's why I really love working with placeholders. I have this simple short wall. I just update what I exported by clicking import here, and boom, geometry magically appeared here. So for instance, MFET, as a level designer, I don't want you to bother too much about building a house, etc., because I want you to focus on actually building a house with purpose and with design. Thank you very much for the encouragement. That's why we're using these smart actors, which basically you select what kind of wall you want to spawn. So I select here, I click here, I don't know, wall, door, short, and I make it automatically transforms into it. And if you can have patience until I do these two objects too, then we'll actually make a test with building the house using grid snapping, and you'll see how easy it will be. Marcel, focus on building that game. I will definitely start having some Sunday game reviews. I have more friends that want to send me games, and I promise you this, I will review it from a design perspective primarily, then from art, etc., because I'm no specialist artist. But make sure you're happy enough with it before you send it, because I want to be as honest as possible when reviewing games. I won't trash it or anything, but I'll just call it as I see it. Okay, two more. Wall window and wall door short. We do this ones and it's a home run, baby. For the wall door short, I want to show you a quick technique. So wall door short. This one, again, we set the object to have 0.3 visibility. I also freeze it because I don't want to get in the way. Hey, didn't I set you to 0.3? 0.3, hit enter and OK. OK. And now for this bad boys here, this really thin pillars next to the door, I'll actually do a trick. Let me quickly show you what I want to do. So, because the shortest plank I have is 2 times or even more wider. Thank you very much, Mfet. T'es mon premier subscriber, quoi. Merci. Haha. Pas vrai. Pas vrai. Okay, so here's what I want to do to make it super fast. I want to use this long plank to create this shorter version of the plank, but since I have almost double the size, I will just cut it in half. Let's see how it looks like. So quickly, I just put each and every one where it's supposed to be. En fait, c'est pas vrai. You're my first subscriber, mec. Of course, the French connection always, the French connection always comes to rescue me. See ya, Roni. The recording will be up on YouTube and hopefully on Twitch as well, if I configured Twitch right, so you can browse through what you missed. Okay, so I've set the planks here. I'm actually thinking to attach everything first. So up, 180. I'll just do some rotation real quick. This one 180 as well, to keep detail on both sides. And now this one I will just attach with this one. Go quickly into poly. Okay, and I still have some problems here with the geometry because it's not well connected, but this can be really easily fixed. I go into edge mode, I insert a single vertex here, I select this one, and this one, connect them, okay, and now I go back into face mode and remove those. So I created a selection with the half of the planks I don't need. I just simply detach, if I can find the button for detach, like this. And now I just put these ones on the other side. There we go. Mfet, thank you so much again for being my first subscriber on Twitch. Have a great day tomorrow at college. A plus, mecton, a plus. Ciao. Okay, so Marcel, the first time I ever worked on a video game, well, you have to understand something before I start explaining how it was and what I did and etc. So I started, the first time I worked on a video game was like 12 years ago. Let me say 12 years ago, please. I think it was actually much earlier than that, 13 or even 14 years ago. But I like to say 12 years because it has a nice sound to it and it doesn't make me feel that old. So I worked back then in Romania, just like Croatia. Things weren't that you know, organized and supervised, etc. So the first job I got in video games industry, I had 3 contracts basically with the same company, each for 4 hours. So I was working a total of 12 hours a day, and maybe I was also doing overtime, which got me to like 14 hours a day of work in the company office. So it was really tiresome, but I was young because I didn't go to much university. I needed a job, so I went to work in games industry. And I could do this, I did this from like 20 years old to 23 or something. And then I joined Ubisoft, a proper company with proper working schedule, etc. But the first video games, it was tiresome, my friend. It was really tiresome. Now let's see what we're doing here, because I still need to cap some holes I left. Actually, I might not even need to cap them, because there we'll have the pillar, I guess. For the sake of the demonstration, I'll cap them. We can always optimize later. So this one has to be capped, this one has to be capped, this one has to be capped. I'll quickly check the geometry a bit. So these two should be connected to have a nice little surface there. Maybe this one and this one should also be connected. I'm editing a bit the triangulation. I don't even think I have to do this, but I'm doing this because I'm a bit OCD. Marcel is asking if it was hard to work for Ubisoft. Actually, no, Ubisoft was very nice. And you know what? Let me just quickly do some settings in Restream. Sorry about that. But let me do some settings so we actually keep the chat going on for more. So, sorry about that. Embed chat in stream. Hide message, never. We'll never hide messages again. There we go. Hard to work for Ubisoft. It was the best place I've worked in. That's why I even stayed with Ubisoft for so many projects. It's hard only if you don't like it, I always say. They've taught me a lot of stuff. I've managed to work on AAA games like Ghost Recon franchise, like Hoax franchise, like dude, it was amazing. I'd really suggest to anyone who has this opportunity, especially for our French friend over here, dude, go with Ubisoft at least for a while. You'll love it. You will absolutely love it. Ooh. Look, this is bad. I have a face that's flopping around. This is bad. So let me just delete that. Let me select these ones maybe and weld them. Like so. Okay. And we're set. So we did the basic door frame structure. Now let's say I go into sub-object mode, select this one and this one, and let's see if, yes, it still works. So I rotate them like this. It wasn't, now that I think about it, it wasn't such a good idea to connect everything. It was easier to cut, but it will be a bit more complicated here. But you know how it goes, man. If I did it, I did it. Now I have to live with it. And fortunately, it won't take a long time to correct this model. So back into object mode, I rotate these ones as well. Everything looks a-okay. So now, let's say we take this one, we align it a bit better, bring it more here. This one as well, here. Okay. You know what, I'll just put everything in a single poly. So I'll just go crazy and attach everything and start working on the rotation and everything from the poly. It still works the same, just the same I did it before. I'm just rotating stuff, affecting locally, so I add a bit of variation here and there. There we go. Boom. Looks perfect and awesome and awesome and perfect. And let's say now I just arrange this a bit. This should get scaled. I don't know why it's not scaled. Now it is up, but at the same time shortened like this. Okay. Okay. Bon, as the French would say it. Bon. It's good. Everything is good. I now have me some proper, almost proper, sorry. Up and up and up. Proper objects like this. By the way, peeps, how's the streaming? Are we good? It's not lagging that much. It's the first time I'm streaming in 1080p, so please write in the chat window if it's okay for you. So this way I'll keep it up. I try to bring in as much detail as possible for you guys so you see exactly what I'm doing and when and where. Come on, a few more planks and we're there. A few more planks and we're there. Thanks for hanging in there, sticking with me for this tedious but fun process. Game dev isn't always super fun. Sometimes it gets repetitive when you're creating art assets, but if you like it, you'll do it anyway. Come on, it's almost a home run, people. We almost got all our assets ready. And then we build the first modular house, which is just my version of a modular house. I just can't wait for each and every one of you to enroll with the course when it's done, and you can start building your own houses exactly the way you see it. So let's add a bit more variation here and there. Here and there, like so. And actually, nah, it looks perfect because I don't want to bore you to death. Bam, bam, bam. There we go. And now, as usual, we delete what we don't need. We unfreeze this boy. We copy the name, we call it low def because it's old and we don't need it anymore. This one, we affect the pivot. We put the exact pivot for the new object we created. so it snaps properly back into the editor. And we take this name, we apply it here, hide this one. We have to still do a reset xform to reset any kind of transformation this object might have had, and unwrap the UVs, and we're there. Add double poly. So we'll just unwrap the UVs real fast. Mapping, flatten mapping. Okay, we flatten everything. I love it, it looks perfect. It doesn't matter that much in our case, that's why I can be so sloppy. And export selected, wall door, short, wall door, wall door, wall door. And again, the magic of Unreal, wall door short. This one looks regular, right? But when I click the import button, boom, it just got updated as well. Ain't that awesome? Ain't that awesome? Look at it. So pretty. So pretty. Come on. One more, which is a special case, and we're done. One more and we're done. So we still have wall window to do. Let's save. I prefer incremental saves, but not that much to set 3ds Max to make the incremental saves for me. I just remember from time to time to do an incremental save. That easy. So, one more. The one with the window. This one. Again, this is gonna be a bit tricky because we have the wall, and let's say I can take this three maybe, align them here, sorry, align them here, so these ones will fill this space, 3 or 4 of them, let's make 4, like this. So those planks, those 4 planks will go here. Let's actually set the object properties on this one. Visibility is at 0.3, so you can understand what gray box shape I'm filling up. We also freeze it. And so here it's rather easy, right? I take the planks like I already did, like this. Shouldn't be too hard, too complicated, it's just repetition. On this other side, I'll take the long planks. I really like the chipped one, but I can't use it all the time because people will start noticing it. So I'll use these ones. I align here, beam, beam, beam. Move them on the other side. They kind of work. I'll scale them. They kind of work. Maybe I'll cut off some ends if I don't like them, but they kind of work. Okay, so simple. I just take each and every one of them, put it here, like so. But what should I do? What should I do? That's the question. Here. I won't actually do planks for that tiny portion. I'll use the pillar I will build for the sides of the walls to fill it in there as well. So it will be part of the frame. It won't be made with planks. So if I can quickly draw on how it looks like, I will have a frame that will look like this. Sorry for the bad drawing. But I will have a frame that will look like that. Okay, so now I just need more of these. 3 above. Yep. 3 above. Like so. And 2 below. Okay, like so. And here we go. Let's quickly arrange everything properly. The jury is still out for the planks here, for these ones, the ones I'm highlighting now. They seem a bit too long for what I need, and scaling might actually not work. So you know what? Let me quickly consider something else. Let me consider this. Oh yeah, yeah. This works better. Yep, yep, works better. So sorry, long planks. It's not the day for you. Nope. 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 Okay. Problem. I have repetition here, which I can easily fix, and I'll show you how. So these ones can be shorter, maybe. Yes, they can be shorter. I'm looking at where I have the details, so I'll actually take them out and study the details a bit. I'm looking for ones which, oh, this one looks amazing. So I'll actually have to use all of them, and I'll cut a portion of them. So I'll put them back, oops, and I'll actually cut this. Instead of scaling, I prefer to cut. This way I preserve details and everything I've worked so hard to achieve, and I don't need to scale. Looks good, cuts good. This one looks good, cuts good. I always check 360 and preferably even in wireframe when selecting for cuts, because exactly what I was saying. I always check because sometimes I select too much of a polygon, and when this happens, I switch back to like solid view, I go actually into isolate selection, and I look at what's happening. So my cut should go through here. Let me draw it here. So again, I'll go into edge mode, insert a few vertices here and there, like so. Again, vertex mode, I select those vertices, I connect them in order to have an entire clean loop, and when I reselect, looks beautiful now, doesn't it? I'll also get rid of this tiny little chip there. So now, boom, looks good, cuts good. I end my isolation, and this one should cut fairly easily. So that's why I was saying at the beginning of this stream, it's always better to optimize last. Because I have, let's say, maybe too much geometry in these objects. I'm not an expert, so I couldn't say if it's too much or too little. It's good to have extra geometry because I can easily cut stuff away. I can do all these kind of tricks. I can always optimize later the final version of my modular walls, not necessarily now. So it's okay. I know optimization is king. Just look at God of War on PlayStation. It looks beautiful and it runs smooth because it's heavily optimized, and they did a great job there. But especially when you're early in development, okay, be reasonable, please be reasonable, but don't get overly focused on optimization. I always say, dude, get it from red to green, which means from not being there to being there and functioning as intended, and optimize later. If I would have optimized these objects, the cut would have taken so much longer to pull off properly. Okay, enough with the talking. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'll just rearrange a plank here and there. This also adds me more variation compared to the other objects. And we're done. These ones, I just select everything, rotate like this. Oh, I have an interesting issue here. This one can come forward, this one can move backward. I don't want to have too much gaps in here. Too much gaps there is. So I'll just, you know what? Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. Okay, random rotations everywhere. Actually, let's flip a few. So this one, because it looks really nice, and maybe this one. I'll just first rotate 180 degrees like this, rearrange them, put them back in place. So this one goes here, so and so. You don't have to be super precise once again, because you'll have the pillars anyway. Okay, and then this 3, I rotate the other way, like so. There we go. I move this a bit here so I can see even more crazy detail. I really love how this plank looks like. Maybe I'm getting too happy and excited for a plank, but hey, I love it. Okay. Up. Maybe I remove this, because I had some funky rotations here and there. And this one also needs some more rotation, some more movement. Now, before we close everything off, remember, we select a few randomly. Oh, it doesn't look that random. Starting to get tired, I guess. We select a few, rotate them a bit. We select another set. Rotate them a bit. Make the final corrections. This one maybe needs to sit like this more. This one maybe needs to be a bit rotated. And I think it looks good enough. More rotation, they said. Let's do it in local space though. Ha! Ha! And oopsie. Hey, you know what? I'll just go with soft selection here real quick. Oh, it said soft selection, but I didn't enable it. Soft selection. Fall off. Long fall off. And move things lower. And we're done. Select this. Attach everything to it. Beam, bam, 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 bam. Unfreeze, show all window, copy its name, low def. This one becomes all window. Remember, I always move the pivot in the exact same place. I always reset transformation, convert to editable poly, and as a final thing, as usual, unwrap the UVs. So I select everything, I open the UV editor, mapping, flatten the mapping, and we're done. Editable poly, one last step, export selected as wall window. Yes, okay. Again, let the magic of Unreal help us update an object. Thank you very much, people, for hanging in there. We managed to do a heck of a lot of work today. Let's quickly build some lighting. You know what? I'm feeling brave and talkative, so I'll actually turn on the music. So just to remind everyone, we're just building the lighting now. I'm actually trying to get Swarm to show up. Let's see if I can do this. Come on, help me out here, Unreal. Show us the Swarm. There we go. Let's go back to Unreal. Let's look at the Swarm. So we're now building the lighting to check all the objects and how they build their light maps and everything. I've actually set it on high quality. Marcel, what about now? Okay, so for some reason, at least Marcel is not hearing the music. I'll debug and investigate why it's not working on the next episode. If someone is hearing the music, please type in yes or no or something. Ah, now you hear me, okay, but still no music. Alrighto, so as you can see, the last threads in my PC are finishing up with the light mask build. Just look closely in the center of the screen. I'll actually bump it up. Okay, just look closely and let's see how the lighting changes. Marcel, That's super clever anyway. You don't have to make a big game, especially at start. Don't go in that direction, bro. Just make a small game, go through the entire process, which means selling it, which means a lot more things. Don't worry about it. Small game is better at start. Don't worry about it. All right, all right, all right. Building lighting still. Yes, it's really hard to sell a game. It is. It is. Okay, so the lighting came in and not bad. Oh, I really love the AO it got. Ooh, this is really nice. See how nicely detailed the AO is here? I love it. I love it. Okay, everything is dropping shadows properly. Damn. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So now let's see actual use case for how to build quickly a modular house using all these props we've modeled. So I'll just delete them for now. I'll just delete everything for now. So we start from scratch, right? We have a simple actor. Let's go to our smart house blueprint. We just enable the snapping to 50, drop it in the map. It comes in as a simple wall that doesn't look like much anyway, but if I just clone from it, leave some space there. Let's say I want a longer house. So I want one that's this long, and let's say I want it to be like this, and like this. Okay. Again, longer in that direction anyway. Bam, like this. So let's start customizing a bit. This one has to have 2 pillars. This one, and actually all of this has to come in a wee bit closer, Maybe this bad boy is too. Like this. Now this one has to have a pillar at the end. These two have to come in here. And let's say this one has to have a pillar. This one's also a bit closer. There we go. Pillars. Pillars everywhere. Maybe I put a pillar on this one and on this one. Okay. Now looks like I have a house. Almost. So I just put this here as well. My God, what kind of house am I building? They can't go in and out of the house yet. So, basic house perimeter, right? And now I just choose. I want this one to have a door. I want this one, and I want this one to have a long window, and I want this one to have a single window. Let's see. I want this one and this one and this one and this one to have large windows. Okay. And let's say I want a short door here. Let's make a short door. So I want a door short, which doesn't look good yet, but if I put it in here, it will look awesome. Like so. I still have to create a tiny wall here. I don't like this, I like this one. Like so. I have 2 doors there. I don't know why I have 2 doors there, but meh. Looks okay, I guess. Let's see now. So just with a tiny bit of snapping, maybe I go into more detail now. I adjust everything to look just perfect. And let's say here, I would actually like a hallway style kind of door. So I just rotate. Like this. Like this. And like this. Maybe I make this one be a wall window short. This one to be a wall window short as well. You know what? Both of them are wall window short. Because that's how I like them. And another door in the end, no pillars. And there we go, my friends. This is a modular house now. Maybe I have to select everything. Everything. And maybe I have to move them a bit out of the way. Up, like this. And let's say I create a new layer. Depends on your style, Marcel. Resident Evil has traditionally been third person. They did do some first person as well, but you've got a lot of games like One Night at Freddy's, etc., which is hard first person hardcore horror. Alien Isolation. My god, Alien Isolation, dude, it's first person. So it depends on the flavor of the game you're trying to build and the way you construct your mechanics. So, world outliner. Actually, I need to see some layers, man. It's time to see some layers. Modular house 01. Or actually I can make them in a folder. Modular house 01. There we go. Like so, and let's say we should probably increase the light mass importance volume if I have one. I don't have one. Okay. So now let's just hit build again. Boom. Let's look at the swarm thing to see it working. Ha! And actually, let me drag something into the screen. Just look at the processors, guys. Just look at the cores. They're burning. Once the black thing, which is the light map generation, ends, when it starts to turn into blue, you'll see it go back to 100% like instantly. So it's a surprise to me and I'm really happy. I can actually stream, which means compress video, work with Unreal Engine and build light mass at the same time. I'm blessed to have a pretty good machine. There it goes, you see it? 100%. Crazy. 100%, I tell ya. My gosh. Okay, enough of the resource monitor stuff. I'll keep this for myself for now. Light mass started. Right now we're literally processing mappings. And pretty soon, we'll see, hopefully, all of this, the modular house, starting to look more like this, properly lit, etc. We'll also see proper shadows on the ground, duh, and everything's gonna be okay. Again, I'm really sorry there's no music today, but I'll fix it for next time. Oh yeah, definitely. Just a little bit more, just a little bit more. If anyone is hearing music either on Twitch or YouTube, just let me know, guys, let me know. Type it in the chat, please. Type it in the chat. Because I am hearing awesome music, it helps me to wait while it compiles. Okay, we're done. Don't worry about how it looks now. Don't worry about what you see under there. Let's focus on the viewport, right? Boom. Now it looks good. We have proper lighting and everything. Of course, we'll just need to grab the nav mesh bounce volume. I'll press P to see the nav mesh. Move the bounce volume so I have navigation inside the house, like so. and I see a problem. This module, the small door, doesn't generate properly navigation. I know from where it is, and I'll show you how to fix it. So let's browse to asset. The small door, right? The small door, wall door short. We browse to the asset, we open it, and let's look at, the simple collision is all messed up, man, because it automatically generated a collision, which I don't like at all. So let's just delete that one. We go to collision, add box simplified collisions, 4 of them, up, one like this, yep, one like this. This has to be increased a bit more. I think I'm also snapping on scale, maybe? No, I'm not. Nice. And one more. One more. And there we are. There we are, my friends. We now have proper collision, so to say. Save it. And now proper navigation as well. So only one more thing left to do. Let's add some trolls, some bad boy trolls inside the house. One. So I'll add a few melee attackers, let's say, like this. And again, the trolls are also configurable. So I can choose for this one to be fire troll. If I can just find the dialogue. Where are you, dialogue? If I can just find it, okay. Enemy ranged type. So I'll make it with lava, like so. Let's add another melee type of attacker, like so. Up, there we go. And we will spawn right there, right here where the player spawn is. So let's get to it. I go inside. They're not still alerting properly, so I'll literally have to pass in front of them. I know, still working on that. The melee attackers are following me, which is okay. The lava one seems to be a bit pissed off. Oh, he's shooting lava at me. Hey. Here's something I can do. Oops, I'm getting damage. Now I'm getting damage over time as well, because I just got hit with the lava ball. I got one. I managed to get one, but they killed me with the damage over time. So now I can either restart the level or go back to the main menu. Doesn't necessarily work well when playing in editor, but here's something I don't like. The terrain has the checker material, which doesn't look that good. So I'll just put the default material or something. No, maybe I have something. Gray sphere. Yep, I'll put the gray sphere material. Not here, but here. Gray sphere material. There we go. On the landscape, just got updated. Let's play it again now because it's much easier to see. Hey boys. Oh no. no. So let's see. Oh man, with the lighting and everything, it looks so nice. So nice. Still trying to, yeah, I got him. And he should disappear as well. There we go. Thank you everyone so much for watching this live stream. It was amazing to do all this progress with everyone here. Thank you so much for the support, for the questions. I hope we'll get to see each other on the next one, and because now I have a pretty solid internet, I will start scheduling the live streams so everyone knows when to join on the next one. Thank you Marcel, Tony, thank you everyone. It was unbelievable. Thank you very much. Mfet, my first Twitch subscriber, you're amazing, bro. Thanks everyone. See you on the next one, and until then, keep having fun building stuff in Unreal and enjoy it all the time, man. See you guys.